This is The Art of Startup War, and I am your sensei, Brian McMahon. Now, in Season 1 and 2, I got inside the minds of startup investors. In Season 3, I brought in entrepreneurs to share their startup journey. Here, in Season 4, we combine both, so you can hear investors critique the investment value proposition of individual companies. You're going to hear how investors make decisions to invest in startups, what makes a great entrepreneur, and how billion-dollar companies are built. So tune in every Tuesday, 10 a.m. on all the major platforms. You can empower your tribe by sharing the podcast, and remember to subscribe, rate, review, and leave us a comment. Good morning, it's Brian. You are back in The Art of Startup War. The reason that you are listening to this show is because, number one, you, like us, are an investor and you want to find an unbelievable business with incredible growth, phenomenal scale, and the ability to become something that's going to give you a really good return. Number two, you are an entrepreneur and you are looking up to other phenomenal entrepreneurs who are building incredible businesses and you are wondering how to get there. Or number three, you just live in the creation space and you want to be around people who are creating phenomenal things. Whichever of the three you are, welcome. You are not going to be disappointed today because today we are going to discuss the future of how real estate brokers or agents transact to become better brokers, or, as James says them, super brokers. James from REAI, welcome to the show.
Thanks, everyone.
He's here. Yeah. Okay, so tell us, bring me through the journey, because what you do, let's tease the audience a little bit. We won't quite release how it works yet, but it is a methodology with, if an agent, a residential agent, someone who is selling houses in the US, will actually make a lot more money. And they'll make a lot more money through something directly that will happen to them. And they will make a lot of money because of something indirectly that's going to happen to them. So what gave you the idea? And by the way, this is not simple. It's extremely complicated what you've built. And it's a monster machine. But tell me, what gave you the idea to come up with this? And how the hell did you build it?
So I've been in the real estate industry for quite some years, although not professionally. I'm not a broker. I'm not an agent, but I've been, buying sell some properties for a while, and I see firsthand how suffering the real estate agents are because they had to handle all kind of data, and a lot of them is really having difficulty making ends meet. A real estate agent has to be at least making 1 or 2 deals a month to keep up with the normal standards. And nowadays it's extremely hard. That's why a lot of real estate agents has to get another job, a daytime job, and they just work on this on the side. But their clients is not happy.
So you mean people don't do, so you got to do 1 or 2 deals a month to make decent money.
Exactly.
What percentage of them do 1 or 2 deals a month?
Only like around 10%. I should
No.
say. 10 to 20%. Sometimes normally people, get around, like they do a good, in 1 month, and then later 2-3 months they really don't get any sale, and then they're trying to make it up. So it's extremely hard for agents through this market. And some super agents, they did it so well. They have a team, they can make like 5 or 10 deals a month. They live, really well, and they can get things around very well. But the normal majority of the real estate agent, they really have difficulty going through. And as a result, their clients are suffering too. For example, if you're engaging with the agent, he's having a daytime job, he was just helping you on the weekend, and this agent is so busy, he has his own private life, and he won't be having time every day to look for your needs, see what kind of new trend you are, and trying to find you the best deal. So a lot of time, most people last year, the survey, 60% of the consumers, they have a buyer's remorse. They regret after they're moving house because agent doesn't have enough capacity to help them, to guide them properly. And on the other side, because
they're so desperate to sell something, they'll just sell them whatever the heck somebody likes.
Yeah.
Right,
and to get the 3%, that's how it is. But most of the NAR, a lot of the trade unions, they won't tell you exactly. They won't tell you all these facts. But it is true that if you're really getting to the industry, you'll see how everyone's suffering. The buyer's suffering too. Well, if they get a good deal, they will be happy. But most of the buyers, they are not happy up, and their agents, they are suffering. And it's like
So,
it's
what is the number one reason why? Because this has all been driven by the fact that the agents are not selling enough homes every single month. So, they're desperate to sell whatever home that they can sell. Now, at least 90% of them, right? So, what would be the number one thing that you could provide to these agents to help relieve that problem?
so basically we have a package of patterns. So basically, our proprietary platform, we use our special machine learning engines to help the agents process data. First of all, we can help them get quality lead, not the junk leads from like normal, like those lead generator like sources right now. And second, convert the leads into clients. We can help agents to guide those clients through the sales pipeline,
What do
including
you mean quality leads? So right now, where do they get their leads from? I always imagine that a residential agent walks around with a bunch of flyers, or they hope that somebody calls a sign which is in front of a house. Do they have more sophisticated ways of getting leads?
not really. I mean,
Oh no,
yeah,
that
not
sucks.
nowadays some website they were just putting a website there. Whoever like IP, whoever people click on their website, they were trying to find whoever click on it, and they sell those. Even Zillow or some big players, they will mostly do this way. Whoever come to their website, they take them as a potential lead and they sell those leads to the agents. And a lot of agents hate it, but there's no way they can get around. So there's still love and hate relationship for the agents, but because they pay big bucks every month, but they know that most of them are junk leads because it's on just name and email, but you really don't know what's a trend those people really and how readiness they are to make a purchase, make an offer, and then get to closing. A lot of them just random, they check here and there, and then it become a lead, and then it become a lead for those, so the lead generator to sell to agent.
You know what it reminds me
Yeah.
of? I'm going to show how old I am here, but I'm sure a few of you are going to say, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But there's a couple of you that will know this movie, Glengarry Glen Ross. Do you ever see this movie?
Yeah.
It's a class, right? It's a classic movie. And you imagine like Jack Lemmon, who's in the back room, and they just want the leads. They want the quality leads.
Yeah.
And all they do all day long is just pray for better leads to come through the door. So I really, and you've really created that image in my mind by thinking of like those 90% of real estate agents, and all they're doing every day is hoping that handing out some flyers to some houses around the place from whatever they're selling, and having a sign, and then buying some not so great leads from Zillow is going to make that difference. So you recognize this as a problem, and I'm sure you're not the only person in the business that recognize this as a problem. What were the other problems that you recognized, and then I want to come to how did you find the
You remember
solution?
in the movie, Alec Baldwin was saying ABC, always be closing.
Yeah.
A lot of time you get the leads, you can close. And first of all, it's junk leads, right? Even if it's a good leads, it need a lot of time, especially nowadays
Yeah.
in the real estate industry. All the agents are so busy, and you have a daily life, and some of them, like at least half of it is like a part-time agent, and then all the data every day. There's hundreds of new, like in a one small city, there's hundreds of new houses get on MS. Like on average, that's so they have to look through everyone and see which one is good for particular client, and then they tell the client to take a look, and then they need to take them to show the house and see, hey, analyze for them, hey, this one fits you. So it's a long process from the lead to a client, from a client all the way to make offering and and end up in closing. This takes huge amounts of time effort, and a good agent, a really good one, supposed to be very close friend with a client down the road and know well what they are thinking, not just what they were telling them before. I want a 3 bedroom, I want a 4 bedroom, a 2 bed. Not just like that, but really down the road, see what each person really needed in the long run, and then trying to match them or guide them to the property, which not only the client said what they wanted, but down the road will be good for them. And then they will be so grateful for the agent when they're moving because they know that this is later down the road. They say, hey, we didn't even think about this, and the agent tell us. So what we can provide is all the steps, we can utilize our machine learning engine. We can guide the agents what is the best way to do for you to guide your client into the sales pipeline, into closing, and which is very useful for people. It will be good for the buyers, for the clients. It will be good for the agent because they can reduce the workload, they can boost the sales.
Okay, I love it. So whenever I'm looking at a company, because obviously we have an accelerator, which means that we invest in companies like yourself, and I could not be more pleased that we put money into your company and that we're an equity holder and we're going to be a part of the tremendous success that you're going to have. But whenever we move beyond that initial stages where we do the investment, we kind of look at our companies and say, if ever a company is facing a problem, normally it's because of one of three reasons. It's either because of the people, it's because of the process, or it's because of the inquiries. So what I really like about what you're looking at here is you're looking at two of those three problems. You're looking at the inquiries or the leads, whatever we call them, right? What comes through the front door that actually allows you to be able to make money. Without those, we got nothing, right? And you're saying, how do we create a better mousetrap for the leads? You're then saying, but if we just give them the leads on their own and we don't help fix the process, which is a very broken and rugged process right now, then all we're doing is allowing them to waste more time and more money on leads that they can't close. So you've added on to the leads and said, we're also going to create a better process. So whether you're an excellent real estate agent or whether you're not such an excellent real estate agent, you can create a process so that you have a better closure rate and the client has a better experience.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Which is brilliant. Now, can we talk a little bit about how you came up with the secret sauce and what that secret sauce is for that better process to get inquiries and also the secret sauce for the process to be able to close those inquiries?
Okay.
Let's start with finding inquiries first. How do you convince me as an awesome buyer to give you my details so that you're then going to pass it on to the brokers?
Okay, so for example, normally there's a saying say no unknowns, unknown unknowns. A lot of people doesn't fully understand initially when they like first time home buyers or they just move to a city. They don't know what is really good for them. So we have a lot of cases where we see, and I have so many agent buddies, they were telling me that buyer's a liar. Buyer doesn't know what they wanted or keep on changing their mind.
Yeah.
So sometimes they're so fed up with it, they just go along with whatever the buyer tell them up front. They just find exactly the keywords fit 4 bedroom. Hey, this is 4 bedroom, 2 bedroom bathroom. That's what you wanted. Go for it. Trust me, it's good. But it's actually a more than just initial information. Like say, if an agent get a lead from whatever the lead generator right now in the industry, they normally give them a name and a phone number. They really don't know what kind of family structure, what kind of potential the financial situation, what kind of family needs they are, and also down the road, what would be really good for them. So in the beginning, every agent was asking a client, so what is the situation? Why you want to buy a house? What kind of house you want to buy? That's it. They just take down all those information and they trying to go to MS, trying to find some houses that the words match those requirements that the client tell them. But a lot of times, the clients have a lot of things on their mind, and gradually they realize certain things is actually really good for them. So they will tell the agent, "Hey, I'm thinking actually those kind of other standards is actually good for me." Or sometimes they don't. Even before they say that, they realize, but they are just polite. They don't want to tell agent up front. So a good agent supposed to find out and based on the interaction with the clients, those things, and trying to proactively tell the clients what to do and guide them through, including in the beginning.
But how does your process help them do that?
So
So first, how do you find them the leads?
yeah,
And then, because you are going to be providing, listen, all you agents out there, you are going to receive better qualified, higher quality buyers that you would not be able to find yourself. So tell us a little bit about, because what you've built to provide value to the buyers so that they want to give you their details is huge.
yeah,
So talk a little bit about that, and then also talk a little bit about how the agents can use that Refax
Yeah.
report as well.
Yeah.
And then let's talk a little bit about the specific elements of the process that you're putting in place,
Okay.
so that, because remember, the people who are listening here are investors, and they're saying, well, shoot, if you can help 90% of all of the real estate agents in the country close more deals. Now, whether it's 100% more as you feel it can be, or whether it's 20% more, it doesn't matter. It's so huge. It's a game changer in the space the size of Zillow.
And on the other side of game change, the buyers will be happy. There will be much less remorse factors. So this is a lot of things.
Talk to us about this. Talk to us about the Refax report and
So-
why the buyers are going to love this.
So what we do, the first step is that we do a deep analysis on the data, like on the users, and we trying to analyze and have a long-term projection, see what is really good for them. See, there's a lot of data, there's a lot of elements involved. So we basically analyze all elements, all things considered that it will be important for the user. And then we try to provide the best, most appropriate services what will be good for them. Be it the most appropriate properties, or be it the best mortgage is provider for them, or
Yep.
even insurance,
Mhm.
or even inspection, or interior design, or even a contractor for renovation. So everyone have different needs, and the needs might differ from different people, or needs might differ based on different time frame. So while we coming through our machine learning, we can do a further analyze and project what is best for everyone ahead of the curve, ahead of everyone else. So we can tell you this this client A, he's just looking right now, don't spend too much time, he's not really ready for make offer. The other person, he's actually ready to make offer, and what particular type of house he mostly spend time on, and he already lists as your favorite, and we see that this will be perfect for him. So it's easier to guide him to take a look, and then to start it preparing to make offer, and to in the process of
So
make
you prepare a report,
Yeah.
and because I want to try and succinctly let our listeners know, like, the one or two specific areas that will help somebody buying a home.
Yeah.
And here's how I see it in a very simplistic way. Zillow and MLS, they do a fine job at providing actual data, basic data on what a house has and kind of what it does and where it is, right? It's fine. It's okay. I don't think Zillow or MLS, they need to be redefined or changed or anything else. They do an okay job. Where you've come in, and what certainly appealed to us at the beginning, is that you didn't focus on actual data. You used actual data and machine learning to focus on predictive data. And the predictive data is based on what's happening with the value of the house over the coming 3 to 5 years, based on all of the data of the region. So for that alone, there is not a house buyer in the country that is not going to want to be able to see how their house in their street, for predictive valuation data, is going to compare to the house on the next street, because we can see. Now, you also include a lot of other cool things, such as schools and restaurants and all that kind of stuff, and that comes into the predictive data. For me, I see that as secondary to the fact that you're using machine learning to predict what the valuation of the house would be in the future. And you have these awesome heat maps that help make that a very visual thing. So for me, like, that's I don't want to spend too long on it, because I really want to focus on your business and where your business is going in the future. But I do want to make it really clear. You're a buyer of a house, you're going to want this Refax report. If you get this Refax report, you're going to be very happy to give a little bit of data so that you can be personalized against the house that you're actually looking for.
Let me
right?
just add something really quick. So this is like old days when you buy a car, even 40, 50 years ago, with before Carfax happened. So people don't have any clue. People can, massage the car, like the odometers. They can say, hey, this car, only have 50,000 miles, and it could be 250,000 miles. So Carfax happened. Everyone buy a car, used car. They need to get a Carfax to see what happened to his car, any history, any
Right.
background. So same thing for the house. Right now, when people buying a house, there's no way for them to find all background information and also what's the potential this house is. So the only thing they'll do, they're trying to go to Google, trying to go to Zillow, but it's only very limited information. They ask the agent. Most agents don't have much time. So That's why I would say we provide a whole package of smart guidance for users. We see what they needed, we give them, and later every user say they have 3 4 houses they like. We provide this refacts. Basically, it's a Carfax for cars, but
Okay.
refacts for housing. So not just the background information, screw crime, restaurant, and all the related, but also a very deep machine learning analysis, even including from the picture we analyze whether this house need any fix, how much fix, and we generate a heat map which tell them this house, this subdivision, this zip code, how the price will be 1 year, 5 year, or 10 year down the road. And similarly, we can generate heat map to give people a very easier and graphical sense of how crime will be years down the road, how school will be down the road. So people
It's
know
all
clearly.
predictive. It's all predictive.
Yeah,
So it's very smart.
yeah,
No, I really like where that's going.
yeah. People know clearly when they bought a house, they know that even if later they move out, they sell it, it will be good. Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
And then so let's take it to the next thing. So we know we have the Carfax. Everybody listening, we have the Refax. Everybody listening is going to be like, yeah, okay, I get it. Like buyers will happy give the information, and the information goes to the real estate agents. The real estate agents have got more leads. Tell us again in just a few words, what are the specific points of process that you fix within how a real estate agent normally manages a deal online, and what new tools you're going to be providing them to help them manage those deals better?
So we help the clients, or we help the agent manage the clients. We help them manage the sales pipeline much smarter, much more efficiently.
Through a
Because
CRM system or
through, you can say it's a smart CIM, because what we do, one of the patterns is a smart matching. So instead of the agent every day they spend hours, 3 4 hours going through the new listing and see which one will be good for this house, might be good for James, this guy might be good for John. The system already do a deep analysis and projection and then see which one fit one of his clients. So their clients come in, the system already work on behalf of the agents and already provide the clients the most fitting houses. So the clients look at it, they say, yeah, this one is good. I want to visit the property. So they can send a message to the agents, hey, this one is a good fit. Show John this house tomorrow or this weekend, and he most likely he's ready to make offer. And after they visit the house, we can also analyze the clients, see what kind of other concern, other kind of issue they might have. So we can tell the agent proactively proactively how to guide the clients much easier, much more efficient
fantastic.
through the offering and closing.
Yeah, so it's great. So
Yeah.
there's no friction. This is what I love when you have a product which is coming through that everybody likes. The buyer likes it, they get more information, it's not costing them anything. The agent loves it because they get better quality leads at a lower price. The investors love it because we got a revenue driven model that actually makes money and does well. And then the brokers is like, or the agents is an extra Brucey bonus. They get to manage their leads and be able to close more leads. So James, where's this going to go? We got it. We have it built. The platform is built. It's ready. It's being deployed. The machine learning is already in place. The Refax reports can already be produced on a mass basis just based on the machine
Auto
learning that you've
generation.
put
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
So we're ready to fly now, right?
yeah. We've been keeping under the radar. We've been low key keeping it on the radar for the past, the past year. But we're about to do a hard launch, and we are going to the NAR, National Association of Realtors National Convention next month in San Fran, and we are going to debut our various new features, and also we have a new book where what me and our team, we work together. It's called the Next Gen Real Estate Tech. If any audience, if you guys interested, send us a message. We can start pre-ordering, or we're gonna put it online pretty soon. And it's a mind-blowing book. One of the ex-CTO of NAR, he's strongly endorsed the book. He said everyone in the industry need to see this, because we lay out what's the future in the industry will look like, and what everyone need to pay attention, how the industry will disrupt, how will revolutionize it. But the more importantly, the features we're providing to agents and the clients is a key thing. That's why next month in the NAR, we're going to show to every major brokers in the nationwide how we can help them to increase their work efficiency, boost the sales and reduce their workload.
So, the interesting part about especially residential real estate, and I'd be really interested to know how you're going to deal with this, because the beautiful gift to you is also the bit that makes it harder. So, what's the gift? The gift is real estate is back in the dark ages. People are transacting real estate today. Their habits in transacting real estate is the same as 70 years ago. I actually don't think anything has changed except for the implementation of paper. Before paper, they would just say, "Hey, I got a house for sale." Now they write down, "We've got a house for sale." And they say, "Hey, we've got a house for sale." But there's no difference. Nothing else has changed in the entire process of having a real estate agent getting involved with somebody being able to buy a house. So that's the gift. It is ripe for disruption. But the challenge are the habits of the real estate agents. So we are only speaking now to investors. How do you intend to get real estate agents all around the world to adopt? And how much money are you going to raise? And then how are you going to use that money to actually make sure that you get mass adoption?
Yeah, that's a good question, right? So basically, what we're looking at is that right now in the US, we have a total about 3.5 million agents, and about half of them are NAR registered NAR members, and the other half is not NAR member, but they still buy a house on behalf of their clients. And out of this 3 million, overall 3 million, but NAR claim is 1.6 because that's their membership.
Amazing.
So most of them, they can't really close over 3 deals a year, and most of them has to get another job. So some of them, especially the folks that work in the corporate America for 20, 30 years, they're a little bit tired of it, and they're trying to be more flexible. They become real estate agent. However, how to get leads, how to close those leads into deals. And that's the most number one problem most agents face, especially the new agents or the inexperienced or underperformed agents. So what we're seeing that we can come in and bring a whole new set of system that can help those agents from underperformed agents to outperform to super performed agents. So basically, and then their life will be easier. And on another side, those buyer sellers' life will be easier because they will be happy, their needs being met, and then with a shorter period of time. So it's a win-win-win for everybody. And right now, the whole industry, what we see is that it's pretty much the same as 100 years ago. Used to be everyone like what you say, the word of mouth, and later they started printing out the MLS book every week, telling people, oh, where's the new house? Some people want to sell a house and other people want to buy. Everyone has to go through every page of the book. And now they have the listing, and everyone has to go to every new listing, list their items. That takes huge amount of time, effort, and resources. So we use the data to help the agent, help the buyer sellers make the things much easier, especially the buyers and buyers agent right now. Sellers and seller agent, their life is relatively easier. So what we're looking at right now, we're raising 1 million, and we already have 500,000 committed from a fund, and we're looking forward to talk to any other interested investors to revolution the industry together. And this will be used for, we need to hire like 3 more like full-time front-end developers, and also 2 BDs and 1 marketing developer. And so basically because the whole team right now mostly is based in Atlanta, so overhead is much lower.
Beautiful.
And with 1 million, we can go to next round. We can build up the big traction, and then we can go to a Series A round easily.
Brilliant. And then how do you see the user adoption? So we've seen how you're going to break into the market. We've seen why the product is so great. We've seen the amount of money that you're going to raise. I'm with you. I'm 100% sure you're going to get a Series A next year. But talk to me about the market adoption, because that's going to lead both to getting the
Yeah,
investment and from getting the
yeah.
investment.
So in the market traction, what we're looking right now is the agent is a key front for us right now. That's why we're going to go to NAR. We're going to do a lot of industry partnership with some major brokers and brokerage firms, and also the different MS groups nationwide. And because those big brokerage firms, they want their agents to perform better, they use our tool. They can make their things much easier, much more robust, and more resultful for the agents. So that is one thing, because when agent comes in and they can use a tool and give it to the clients use it better. The clients can feel like the system match them to property and give them a smart guidance. Even when the agent is sleeping or when the agent is absent, the system will help on behalf of the agents and guide those clients through the process. That's why we say the traction initially will be from agent. The agent bring the clients into the pipeline. But the other part is that gradually we're also going to start it, a service the mass roots, a general user who doesn't even have an agent yet. Will provide them free refax report initially, so they can see a lot of information they won't be able to see anywhere else. And then we can give them some other advice and guide them, see what kind of budget, what kind of house is good for them, give them some advice. And once we get to that point, we already see what's a tendency, what's a trend those people are going, and we can provide those to agents as quality lead, because we not only know the name, email address, but we know the trend.
You know everything.
Yeah.
How many people, how many agents do you see using your platform in the future?
We are seeing that potentially in 1 year we can see, we can have like a list. Initially next year we are looking at 20 or to 50,000 agents to come in the system. But right now we are relying heavily on our partnerships. The NAR's XCTO and some other executive is helping us to form some alliance with Realogy and some other big brokerage firms. So we think those brokers who has a long-term vision, want to work efficiently, help the agents, and bring some new technology. I think that perfect partners for us.
I love the simplicity of your product fit. I love the simplicity of your product fit since the first time we met. The fact that you go into an area where nobody else is fixing, and then you create a technology that allows a group of folks who are dying. 90% of, look, get this statistic, everyone, just before we finish. Whether it's 1.6 million agents or whether it's 3 million agents, 90% of those agents are going hungry. 90%. So let's say like 2.2 million of them are going hungry. And that means that all of those people are looking for more leads. The opportunity to be able to get involved in a company like that, that's fixing that problem, is absolutely huge. So massively exciting to me. You are raising $1 million right now. You've got 500 left in the round. For any investors, our agents who are looking to contact you, are actually even partners that want to get engaged, how can they connect with you?
They can email us at james@reai.co.
So reai.co.
James
Okay.
at reai.co. Yes.
James, right? And that's the website as well?
Yes.
So they can get there. And then I'm going to let you finish the podcast by telling us why what you're doing is so incredibly special and how you believe it's going to change the world.
I getting to, I'm a technology executive. I've been doing I wrote a lot of patents myself. And after 2008, I started somehow, some friends were telling me, and I started getting to real estate investment. And I see firsthand how broken the process is. And I think there's definitely a tool with the technology I grasp. We can help the buyers and help the agent make their life easier. And I think we already find a solution. And now we just need to let everyone know so how this can make their life easier, make a better world going forward.
You heard it here on the Expert Dojo Art of Startup War podcast. REAI, the absolute undisputed future of real estate management through the agents. James, thanks for joining us, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us, and I am looking forward to joining you all the way on the journey.
Thanks everyone.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us. If you love the podcast, please empower your circle by sharing these stories. The Art of Startup War is brought to you by Expert Dojo. And remember, we invest in startups, $50,000 checks. Make sure you apply on our site if you are one of those great entrepreneurs looking to bring your company to the next level. As far as the Art of Startup War is concerned, we are back every single Tuesday at 10 a.m. So remember, check out the new episodes. If you want to find out what the investors think, check out season 1 or 2. But make sure you join us every single week.